Shalom. I want to start giving all praises to Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Waharuka Kudash, and double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for teaching us scriptures, among other things, and salutations to all your Akim across the earth doing this work in sincerity and in truth, and Shalom to the sincere brothers and sisters that are listening and watching the videos, and do their best to please Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai. So I want to make a video about this article right here, and you already see it in the title. Myth of higher pain thresholds among migrants remains a problem in healthcare. And I keep saying this, these Dutch Edomites. I also saw another clip that one of the brothers posted in the group app, and I'm gonna post it on my. It's a Dutch clip, it's spoken Dutch woman. She's speaking about the atrocities, the wickedness that these Edomites been doing in Ghana. You have the castle that they took over from, I think, from the Portuguese or the Spaniards. I'm not sure. I need to check that. See, it's one of them. I think it was the Portuguese, and the Dutch stayed there for over 200 years at least. And it's one of the famous places, because they had multiple places in Africa, on the west coast of Africa, where they were shipping slaves, Jacob descendants, to America, for example, America, Caribbean, and all that, And don't forget, these Dutch Edomites, they were the first one that started with it. The first one who sent the slave ship from west coast of Africa to America, and the last one who, among all the Edomites, they were the last one to stop with slavery. They continued for at least another 10 years when the other Edomites quit with slavery. And what's another thing that I want to say? Damn, slipped my mind. Oh yeah, that castle. It has, you can look it up. It's in Ghana. It got a place, the door of no return. And once a slave, male, female, or child was brought to that door, that person wouldn't come back. That's for sure. And a lot of them were dying over there. She was telling some stuff that they were doing there. That's crazy, man. And yeah, maybe it's good to visit those places, if you are around certain countries, even like last year I went to Curacao, I went to some places, for example, I went to the caves of Hato, and over there I also did a video about that, if I'm correct. Yeah. And over there you have places where you had the damn the damn, what's the name again? The Carib. What's the name of them? Damn, I forgot the name of them, man. So-called Indians. They were living there. Escaped slaves. They were hiding there. The so-called Indians. They was hiding there. It was really dark. Now they have lights there. You couldn't walk everywhere, but you have lights there. It's real. It was real dope to see. Even how the rocks. It filtered the water. He had fresh water inside, stuff like that. Of course, you had bats, and I forgot the name of those so-called Indians that were living there, the tribe, the northern tribes, or the Arawake Indians. Yeah, that's the name of them. So yeah, man. So and as you see on this picture, also, you see this child. She's getting shot, and that's also a thing, The Most High have created medicine out of the earth, and I'm gonna read it in the book of Sirach in a moment. We shouldn't take things from this devil anyway, But yeah, and even that's also something that bothers me also a lot of times, when I look at, especially at the older generation, those who are closer to all the atrocities that these so-called white people have done to us, they still want to run to him for everything, and still trust him, trust in his medicine and all that shit, So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 38 and 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which you may have of him, for the Lord had created him. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. The skill of a physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of great men he shall be in admiration. Yahweh had created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Yeah, if you are wise, and the Bible speaks of certain herbs that can do a lot of things, and everything. It nowadays is more easier to find information. You just look at the, let's say you got stomach problem with your stomach or whatever. Just look up natural things that can help with that. You will find like ginger, for example, that might help good. Things like that. So let me just jump into the article. Myth of, and this from nu.nl, which is a big news platform in Holland. Myth of higher pain thresholds among migrants remains a problem in healthcare. Do you have a migration background and pain complaints, then it may happen that healthcare providers do not take you serious because of your origin. New research shows, and I already knew that. For example, if I look at my parents, they both were in the 30s when they already had I call that like a full, when they already had false teeth in the mouth. They would used to go to the dentist when they had like toothache or whatever, and the dentist was just pulling the teeth, you know. So that's something that I saw from close. Like my parents, they were like maybe 40. I don't think that they weren't that old. I remember I was a child and I was looking them, putting out the fake teeth. You got the fake teeth. Put it in a glass of water for the night. And they weren't even that old, man. They were younger than I am today. That shows you, that's just an example. And don't forget all these things that they know nowadays, concerning surgery. They have done that on the slaves back then without anesthesia. So with 100% of pain, and just looking how to endure. Don't forget what they used to do with the so-called Indians, when they enter into America. Columbus with his villains, they used to hang, the natives' wives upside down when the men were out hunting. They used to hang them upside down and just cut the belly open and dash the babies on the ground. And also with the so-called Negroes, the southern tribes, they used to cut the baby out of the womb of the belly of the woman and use her to catch a gator, things like that. So don't forget these devils. It's in them. It's in them to do that shit. They are created to be wicked, man. They are created to be wicked. Matter of fact, let me see. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 13 and verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. So there you have it. Can the Ethiopian change his skin? Of course not. He can change his color, And nowadays you can say, yeah, he can go bleach and this and that, but can you do that by thought? No. Or the leopard is spots. And if you look at the leopard, they are famous because of their spots. So then may ye also do good that are accustomed, that are created to do evil. So there you have it. They are created to do evil. So let me jump back to the article again. Do you have a migration background and pain complaints? Then it may happen that healthcare providers do not take you serious because of your origin. New research shows it has previously been shown that the higher pain thresholds in migrants is a myth that can be harmful to health. And they've been doing this for years, and now, more and more shit, we are in the time, that this devil's being revealed. So more and more of the shit keeps coming out. There's so much information on his wickedness, it's crazy, man. So this is the book of Obadiah and verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hid things sought up? Yeah, to the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahushai. This is the end of his kingdom. He's coming to an end, so all his filth is being brought to the light, Matter of fact, it reminds you of another scripture in the book of Luke. Let me jump there. The scripture just pops in my mind. I'm like, yeah, that's what it is, Let me see. This is the book of Luke, chapter 12 and verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, Whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear in closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. So everything is coming to the light. And those are tokens, those are signs that showing us that Esau is going down. Because you got to realize that all these times he was able to hit all his dirt that he been doing all over the planet. The so-called white men, the Edomites, they were, they were playing, that they were the good guys and this and that. And meanwhile, there were some things that people know, but it wasn't really in the open. But now that dirt is coming in the open. You got people going online, spreading, recording themselves and telling on the dirt that they've been doing, recording it. And once things are on the internet, it's there forever. So it's beautiful, man. The devil's going down. I also posted an article, concerning these small heads, these gutter rats, these Israeli people, how they were oppressing a leader of a tribunal of Den Haag, who was this female was busy to collect evidence against the people in Israel, what they were doing against the Palestinians, and she was basically collecting evidence of war crimes, and they were suppressing her, like taking pictures of her husbands and stuff like that. There's also an article that I post, and that's in Dutch they got a saying: "A kat in de nauwe maakt rare sprongen," meaning a cat who's driving in the narrow, who basically have no way to escape. Let's say you have a cat and you have the alley, but the alley has a dead end, and with high walls, so the cat cannot really escape. He's gonna make crazy jumps, to escape, and that's basically what these Israelis are doing. They being exposed. More and more countries are not willing to back them up anymore. That's beautiful to see, man. It's beautiful to see how your enemy is going down, man. Matter of fact, that reminds me of another scripture in the book of Sirach. Let me jump to that real quick. Just comes to mind. So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that had joy of his children. And in this world, the majority of us, we don't really have joy of our children. If I look at myself, I don't really have joy of my children because of the of their wicked demonic mothers that they have, But yeah, that time will come, man. That time will come. Thus said the Bible, man. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that had joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And Yaharatazah, I stay in this truth, I said it, endure until the end, and already see Esau going down, but to have him in chains, hey, that would be beautiful, man. To slap chains on these devils, man, like the Bible said, the leaders, Mark Kutte, put them in chains, Baudet, put them in chains, Wilders, put them in chains, The Bible speaks about that, man. Matter of fact, let me grab that scripture real quick, and then I'll go back in the article. Slack you, man, kinda, picturing things, and then thoughts comes to mind, and then you want to back it up with scripture, because those are things that are promised, to the children of Israel. First and foremost to the elect, let me see, the book of Psalms, chapter 149. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 149 and verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praise of Yahweh be in their mouth, and the two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people. And this is for all your heathens, man. All your, don't think that we only that we only about the so-called white people, the Edomites. No, it's all your heathens, man. So-called coolies, Chinese, you're all gonna get it, man. You're all gonna get it, because none of y'all is free of All of y'all had a hand in our downfall, had us in captivity or whatever. All of y'all are profiting from the fact that we are at the bottom. So let the saints be joyful in glory, let them sing aloud upon their beds, let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hands, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and the nobles with fetters of iron, to execute, and that's to bind their kings, this all your leaders, Prince, so-called King Willem Alexander, his mother Beatrix, hey, y'all gonna go in chains, man, his children, to bind their kings with chains and the nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. So back to the article. The research into discrimination in Dutch healthcare will soon be published in the authoritative scientific journal BMJ Open. Nu.nl viewed the article before it was published. More than a quarter of 80 Dutch patients with a migration background interviewed experienced that healthcare providers dismiss their pain complaints because of their cultural background. This is what they say in the study exploring discrimination and racism in healthcare, a qualitative phenomenology study of Dutch persons with migration backgrounds. A man with a Dutch background says doctors kept asking his wife if she was pretending to be in pain. We were told several times that people from the Caribbean often act dramatic, the man says. Yeah, and don't forget the people from the Caribbean, we've been Caribbean is also part of Holland, so we all, the people of the Caribbean are also slave descendants, the Arawak, like I said, the Arawak Indians, and the so-called Negroes, we were told several times that people from the Caribbean often act dramatic, the man says. The woman turned out to have cancer. So, there you have it, man. There you have it. A woman with a Turkish background faced stereotyping. The psychotherapist immediately diagnosed was that it was my mother's culture that caused her headaches, because as a woman she has always had to behave humbly and been oppressed. See this shit, man. Other experience of pain among migrants were already debunked in 2000. As early as 2000, significant research showed that the different experience of pain among people with a migration background is a myth. Since then, more scientific studies have appeared that substantiate that research, while scientific debunking has not been forthcoming. And that's also another thing. The things that we, slave descendants have been through, basically the whole nation of Israel, the things, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the so-called Indianos, the real children of Israel, the things that we have been through, that these devils have done to us, if they would only take that for a day, like this woman was telling, that castle in Ghana, people had to stand there for months, stay there for months, standing there, basically have no, locked up in a room, with barely bad ventilation, people puking, taking, piss, having a dump, everything, you're standing in that, in the field, you know, for months before you were, and they were doing that. So that also shows you how wicked these Dutch devils are. They were doing that to see which one of them were the strongest. So the survival of the fittest, only the strongest, let them for a couple of months, with very low food and stuff like that, yeah, and let them die, So hey, like the scripture said, man, reward a double, man. Yeah, you're gonna get it, man. You're gonna get it, man. Yeah, and now they tried, to do some stuff and apologize, throw an apology here and there, and think you're gonna be forgiven, man. Hey, the most I already said, man, you're gonna pay for everything, man. You're gonna double, man, double, and that also shows you how strong we are because we went through all this. Basically, things that they were doing to us, hey, we if the Most High didn't build us like that, we would have been exterminated, man. And that's why we're gonna need the spiritual powers because when these devils, these heathens, when y'all going to the stuff that y'all have been doing to us, y'all gonna die, but we're gonna put you right back to life, man. Researcher Hanneke Velte of the Movici Knowledge Institute is not involved in the BMJ open article, but recognize the results. We know from American research that white people sometimes think that black people can withstand pain better, she said. Yeah, don't forget, they know their history. They've been whipping us, hanging us, burning us. Don't forget all the crazy things that they were doing, man. Europe, Europe, European European research shows that medical students are less likely to choose strong anesthesia for people with a migration background. We also know that skin color and origin play a role in the extent to which we sympathize with someone's pain. Not taken seriously, it's a culture thing that Moroccans experience pain more intensely than Dutch people. In the Netherlands, little research has been done into prejudice among healthcare providers, says Janine Suurmond, associate professor of medicine at Amsterdam, UMC. She keeps getting rebuffed when she tries to change that. I have sometimes been told that this would not been an issue in Dutch healthcare. Patients are at risk. Sharifa Simuri, health scientist and lead author of the BMJ Open article, warns that patients with a migration background can be at risk as long as healthcare providers take prejudice, prejudice into account in their work. When healthcare providers do not take the complaints and pain of patients of color serious or have misconceptions about this, the patient does not receive fair care, she tells nu.nl. But we shouldn't trust these devils anyway because they give you stuff, experimental experiments with you with medicine and stuff like that and make you real sick. Simuri Felton and other experts explained that the myth of a higher pain thresholds among non-white people has its original in the past of slavery, yeah, like I already said. In order to justify the enslavement and mistreatment of non-white people, Dutch slave owners and rulers had an interest in pretending that the group was lesser and different, spreading the word that this group had a higher pain threshold was double useful. It also justified even more brutal treatment. And don't forget, my mother told me that you had the French there in Curacao, you had the French, the Dutch, no, you had the French, you had the Portuguese, the English were there, the Spaniards were there, and the Dutch were there at the last. But she said the Dutch were the worst of them all. So there you have it, man. Over the centuries, this enforced from humanization becomes so ingrained in society that you still see it today in the form of discrimination, racism, and systematic disadvantages in, for example, the labor and housing markets, said then senior researcher Ama Asante from Movies Against Nu.nl. Website for healthcare providers high pain thresholds of Indian and Moluccan elderly. Nota bene paros, the National Expertise Center that aims to combat major health disparities have been informing general practitioners, practice assistants, and other healthcare providers since 2014 that Moluccan and Indian elderly people often have a high pain threshold. The Dutch Society of General Practitioners provided information for the article on the website huisartsmigrant.nl. But don't get me wrong, I don't give a fuck about your heathens, man. After questions from new.nl, Farrell says he has removed the passage, but the website for healthcare providers contain much more incorrect and outdated information. Farrell's promised to revise outdated passages. The NHG has stated that it supports changes to incorrect text. Now time for action. As far as Simuri and her co-authors are concerned, more evidence that discrimination exists in healthcare is not needed. They thus underline what the State Commission Against Discrimination and Racism said to New.nl in December last year. A study proves a crystal clear picture of how discrimination and racism manifest themselves in healthcare, says Simuri. Now is the time for healthcare providers to take action. Stop blaming health disparities on the patients and take action. So, yeah, man. Fucking bullshit, man. These devils, man. You're gonna pay for sure, man. You think you're gonna get away, man? You're gonna pay for sure, man. So let me see. And you're gonna, yeah, man. This is the book of Job, chapter 21 and verse 30. That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. Yeah, man. You're not gonna get away, man. You're not gonna get away. And you're gonna be exterminated, man. You're gonna be exterminated. This is the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the thriving of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mouth up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yeah, got all these skyscrapers, big buildings, going on the spaceships and all that, you got a space station going on, try to reach the moon and all that, but you're gonna go down, man. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. So he's gonna be exterminated, man. Thus said the Bible. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. So you're gonna be exterminated, man. Done away with. And it's a beautiful thing to look forward to, man. It's a beautiful thing to look forward to. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just I think I'm gonna leave it like that, so but yeah, we in that time, Esau's going down, so more and more he's being revealed for what he is, and eventually, everybody's gonna turn against him, against America, to be precise, and it's gonna be beautiful, man. And don't get it twisted, man. All your heathens gonna get it, man. All your heathens. Matter of fact, let me jump to the book of, I think it's Second Maccabees, or it's First Maccabees. Let me see real quick. If it is second or first, that's First Maccabees. Because all your heathens gonna get it, man. You're all gonna get it. We talk a lot about the so-called white people, but all of y'all, man. So this is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 10. What nation had not a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? So yeah, man. What nation? Name one. Yeah, all of y'all enjoying us being the tail, Or you had us in captivity, treating us like shit when we get to your country where your people are living, So that's also why I don't give a shit about these Palestinians also, man. Because if Jacob's descendants, so-called Negro, would walk there, they will fuck you up, But now they want everybody to jump for them. Oh, the children are dying, this, that. What the fuck have y'all been doing with us then? Fucking Arabs, There are a lot of things, they stealing little girls, use them as a slave, rape them, keep them as a slave, things like that. So yeah, Libya. As I remember, there's one clip that keeps staying in my mind. These Arab people, fucking Ishmaelites. They had a Jake tied to a chair. He couldn't go nowhere, beating with a stick. He was bleeding all over the place, screaming, man. I saw the clip one time years ago. It's still on my mind, man. So hey, man, all your heathens gonna get it, man. So yeah, hey, I'm just gonna leave the video like that, man. So with that, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Waharuka Kodash, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for teaching us scriptures among other things, and salutations to Yakim across the earth for doing this work in sincerity and truth. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.